I'm praying tonight that this message, which will be very straightforward, will be branded into the conscience of every man and woman in the church, so that forever afterwards you will not be able to get this out of your conscience, that the shape of this will be branded there.
A famous preacher once said to his congregation, "In every pew, in every row, there sits a person with a broken heart." During the years of my life, I found this to be true. In every pew, in every row, there is a person with a broken heart. The astonishing thing about broken hearts is that they do not break in the same way. They come in all different shapes and sizes. Sometimes they come as a tsunami and sweep absolutely everything in its path, leaving a trail of destruction in front of everyone it touches. But at other times, they come like a soft summer breeze. When a phone call says it's cancer, or a loved one looks at you in the face and says, "I want to break up, I want a divorce, I no longer love you." Most people describe days like these as the worst days of their life. These type of days are days you pray never come. But what do you do when they come? What do you do when trouble hits you so hard it knocks the wind right out of you? It makes you feel beyond the shadow of a doubt that this is the worst day of my life. What do? You turn to Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. What do you do when all hell breaks loose in your life? You turn to 1 Peter 5 verse 7. Casting all your cares upon him, for he careth for you. He cares for you. The whole world can be against you, but he cares for you. In the situation you are standing in right now, he is right next to you. Start believing the word of God and take it literally. He literally cares for you. He promised you, "I will never leave you, I will never forsake you." That's a promise, regardless of the situation you are going through. Remember, be still and know that God is God. If this situation you are going through was going to stop you from reaching where you needed to go, God wouldn't allow it to happen. If God allowed it to happen, remember that all things work together for the good of them that love God. When everyone left me, all I had was Jesus. When I was in trouble, all I had was Jesus. When the gates of hell came after me, all I had was Jesus. During my lonely nights, all I had was Jesus. When my husband left me, all I had was Jesus. When my wife left me, all I had was Jesus. When the world left me, all I had was Jesus. When things were going wrong, all I had was Jesus. When I was in darkness, all I had was Jesus. When you felt heavy-hearted, all you had was Jesus. When you was on your knees, all you had was Jesus. When you felt like giving up, all you had was Jesus. When you were in pain, all you had was Jesus. When your past came back to haunt you, all you had was Jesus. He's all I've ever had. He's all you've ever had. And he's all that you will ever need. Be still and know God is God. He promised you, "I promise I won't leave you. I promise I won't forsake you. I promise I'll fight for you." In your situation, you are not alone. Lo, I am with you always, even until the end of the world. The same God that delivered the children of Israel is the same God that will deliver you in your situation. The same God of Genesis is the same God that works with you each and every day. The same God that was with David when he fought Goliath is the same God that is with you. The same force that was behind David's slingshot is the same force that is with you this day. Remember, God speaks to you through your mind. The devil speaks to you through your mind. What I found in my life as a child of God is that there is a spirit that attacks your mind and makes you believe that you are not worthy of the promises of God. This spirit commonly comes as a still small voice that whispers in your ear. Do you really think God is going to hear your prayer after you sinned? Or it says to you, you are not worthy of praying to God or asking anything from Him. You mess up too often. You're not good enough. You're not a good Christian. You're not a good child of God. Listen, your relationship with God is not dependent upon your performance. Your perception of God needs to change. God is not a cosmic CEO who is looking down on your life, waiting for you to slip up and fall short. Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Confess your sin. He is faithful and just to forgive us and cleanse us of all unrighteousness. Change your perception of God. Stop comparing Him to human standards of love, compassion, and patience. Remember, the love of a father is evil in comparison to the love of God. God is for you. He's not your enemy. He's your greatest ally. There is a reason why the Bible describes Him as a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. No human can love you the way He loves you. Jeremiah 29 verse 11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and a hope.
If there is anybody sitting here tonight who is crying out for a hand that will touch them, an arm that will embrace them, lips that will kiss them, who's longing for somebody who's not afraid of your cynicism, your skepticism, your indifference, there comes a sacred man in our midst who says, it's okay. I'm here. I'm with you. I'm for you. And your pain reverberates in the depth of my own being. My friend, this is not pious poetry. This is the meaning of Easter. Easter did not remove Jesus from us. It simply made it possible for Him to touch not only Niam, but New Orleans, not only Mary Magdalene, but me. Your Christian life and mine don't make any sense unless in the depth of our beings we believe that Jesus not only knows what hurts us, but knowing seeks us out, whatever our poverty, whatever our pain. His plea to His people is tonight, His promise to us, come to me. Come to me, not to church, not to a Bible study, not to an annual conference, but you come to me. And don't wait till you got your head on straight, your act cleaned up, you're free of sin, selfishness, dishonesty, degraded love, but come now wounded, frightened, angry, lonely, empty, depressed, tilting toward despair, and I'll meet you where you live. And I love you as you are, not as you should be, because you're never going to be as you should be.
Regardless of the situation you're in right now, regardless how hopeless it looks, how the odds are stacked against you, I want you to remember these two things. First, you are not alone in this. It may feel like you are alone. You may cry yourself to sleep at night, but you are not alone. He promised you He'll never leave you. He promised you He'll never forsake you. During that time of pain, He is with you every single step of the way. You are not alone.
Now, the amazing thing about the human conscience is this, that even if you don't believe what I'm saying, you believe what I'm saying. That even if you reject the truth of what I'm saying, there is rooted inside you a conviction which you can suppress with the years, but which is there nonetheless, which is telling you that these things are so.
Take a look back through your life. All the hell that you've been through, all the heartbreak that you've been through, all the fake friends, the fake relatives, when people talked about you, all the hurdles you've overcome, all the challenges you've faced, He was with you. He hasn't taken you this far to leave you in this situation. God is for you. He has plans to prosper you and not to harm you. He has a future and a hope for you. This is not the end. Regardless of the situation you are going through, this is not the end.
Do you really believe that Jesus Christ loves you? Not the person next to you, not Mother Teresa, not Billy Graham, not the church, not the world, but that He loves you beyond worthiness and unworthiness, beyond fidelity and infidelity, that He loves you in the morning sun and the evening rain, without caution, regret, boundary, limit, breaking point. No matter what's gone down, He can't stop loving you. This is the Jesus of the Gospels, the Jesus of my own journey. This is not something I read in a book or heard in a sermon. This is the Christ that by the grace of God I've met in my own life.
And number 2, Psalms 30 verse 5. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. This might be the time for you to cry, but believe me, you will get through this. You will get through this. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning.
Now, the amazing thing about the human conscience is this, that even if you don't believe what I'm saying, you believe what I'm saying. That even if you reject the truth of what I'm saying, there is rooted inside you a conviction which you can suppress with the years, but which is there nonetheless, which is telling you that these things are so. And this truth is the truth which the Scripture will not let us forget.
As the 14th century mystic Meister Eckhart said, the best name for the Nazarene carpenter is Son of Compassion. When we speak of Jesus as Emmanuel, as God with us, we are saying the greatest lover in history really knows what hurts us. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, that Jesus does not understand about the pain that hangs like a darkening cloud over the valley of human history. In His own flesh, He feels every separation and loss, every heart broken, every wound of the spirit that refuses to close, all the riven experience of men, women, and children across the bands of time. If there is anybody sitting here tonight who is crying out for a hand that will touch them, an arm that will embrace them, lips that will kiss them, who's longing for somebody who's not afraid of your cynicism, your skepticism, your indifference, your Christ I hate, you get out of my life, there comes a sacred man in our midst who says, it's okay. I'm here. I'm with you. I'm for you. And your pain reverberates in the depth of my own being.